So welcome to another episode of The Collective Perspective, where we give brands marketing access to the bar industry in 2019. I'm here with Jaime. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm tired, man. My name is Jaime Felber. I am currently in the throes of opening up a bar here on St. Mark's. My partners and I have just opened up one about 2 weeks ago, the beautiful Mr. Paradise, and there is another one in the works like 3 months from now. So, and this is not intended at all. This was just like a happy accident, I suppose.
How about a cheers to what's all going on, man? That's crazy. Super excited to talk to you, man. You know, you and I have got to know each other over the last year or so. We've had some great conversations on what brands should not be doing sort of with the bar industry.
It's interesting because everybody obviously, I mean, there's a fiscal reward for reps and for ambassadors and whatnot to do tastings and training. So I find that to be, interesting because there's obviously like a huge incentive there for people to get into bars and just be like, I'll do a training. And that's all fair and well. It's not a disservice, but it's difficult to get a well-rounded education if one brand is coming in specifically talking about their product. Often when I have a good relationship with a brand who has a good portfolio or who I do a lot of business with, I'm like, look, would you mind doing me a favor? You are well versed in your wine, your beer, your rum, whatever it is. How comfortable are you giving an overarching education on wine?
More category.
More category than your specific product. Today's bartender that, cares about what they're putting out already, it's beneficial for them to get an overarching view of things rather than one specific. And of course, if they relate a positive educational experience to a brand, that brand benefits. I had a great time at that rum tasting sponsored by X, Y, and Z. I learned a huge amount about rum in general. I can now sell as well, but if somebody asks me for a standard rum-based thing, I'm going to sell.
Makes a lot of sense. So not just the specific brand, but more the brand. You tell your brand story, but tell more about the history of the category itself.
Yeah, and speaking of brand stories, I hear the same story from every not producer, but rapper. And a lot of it's true. Super localized, familial, artisanally grown. It's all true because that's how you have to do it in these places. You have to go to the farmers for the most part. Like, unless you're like the biggest name in a category, everybody is kind of going about it relatively similarly. You work with the farmer, hopefully you are paying the farmers correctly. It's small batch. It's like the way they've done it for generations. I get it. What I would really like is for one of those people who has that story to come in with something else that I didn't know.
Is there somebody that's doing it correctly, or someone that's done something in the past that really resonated with you?
I think as a brand, Illegal does it right from top to bottom. Right. Personally.
Yeah.
I think that they have this guerrilla sort of marketing campaign that they go about doing, which I think is interesting, and how I saw them from the beginning. I think the interactions and the way that they work with accounts is the best that I've seen. And I think that in terms of telling the story of their product and why they are different, they are second to none. They told their story really well, and I feel like I learned more about mezcal as a category through them than I've ever done to anybody else.
Yeah. So that's interesting. And so ambassadors coming in, like you said, what are they doing right? Or what are they doing? More importantly, what are they doing wrong?
I think the thing that is most important is don't show up looking for a handout or looking for placement or anything like that. If you're just in the bar regularly, hanging out, having a drink, spending a little bit of money, just being a person in the bar for the sake of being in the bar, rather than a person who's like, hey man, like, can I sell you on something?
Right.
That I know has worked wonders with you. And it would work wonders with me too.
Right. Well, that's kind of the thing. Is it like, what kind of partnerships do you look for? Are you hosting events? So you want some partners? Is it media?
It's a bunch of things. I would love a rep to come in, as one did recently, or an ambassador to come in recently and be like, hey man, I would love to do an activation. And here's the activation that I see working. And it's an activation that is paired specifically to their brand, that makes sense with their brand, and also with my bar. Drexler's is not the kind of place that a tap takeover makes as much sense. It's great, I've done them, they're wonderful, they're successful, and I enjoy them. But it's not as makes sense as much as a brand coming in and going, hey man, you guys are all about music. I have a really cool idea for a music-focused event, you know, and we carry a bunch of Caribbean drums. And we would love to do like Caribbean, like vinyl night with our rums, and we think this is a cool thing.
Yeah.
Like, you want me to sell your booze, and I know it's gonna be a success for me, and it's gonna be a success for you, but help a guy out. Like, it's great to have people who are creative coming into the space and being like, these are the ideas, this is what I think would work.
Somebody did their homework instead of just being like, what do I gotta do? What do I gotta get? How do I work with you? So I mean, you talked about your bottom line. Is that kind of like the reason for, I mean, you know, you're still filling your back bar here.
Yeah.
But is it the brand story? Is it what's in the bottle? Is it the cost? Is it the relationship? Like,
at the end of the day, the juice has to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not pouring garbage for the sake of the relationship.
Yeah.
I don't think the relationship even really gets off the ground
Unless it's
terrible.
Right.
I think it's everything. I think it's, you know, we definitely carry products that we like, products that taste good, have a good message, is helpful, have a good team of people that we believe in and represent both what our vision is and what the product is very helpful for sure. Yeah. I don't need somebody to show me like, hey, I got some money behind this product, like, let me figure out how to give it to you. Like, hey, I know a bunch of people who would love to come and hang out at this bar, because at the end of the day, more bodies generates more bodies.
Right.
And that is way more important to me than just showing up with a suitcase full of cash. That would be great.
Tough industry. I mean, that's the thing, is like, people think it's like, hey, you know, whoa, you're selling $15, $18 cocktails, you must be crushing it. But like you said, wages are going up, everything's going up, so like... And
to be very clear, especially on camera, I am a huge supporter of increased wage. In small scale, I do believe in trickle-down economics. Yeah. You know, I believe that we should pay our staff as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
But then there should be some sort of subsidy on payroll taxes or on rent increases or whatever it is. Yes, the rising labor cost is the biggest challenge currently facing the restaurant industry, I believe. However, that doesn't mean that we should cut that. We just should talk about other ways to help offset it.
I think that's it, man. I think that's it. Paper Daisy, right?
Paper Daisy, yep. 41 St. Mark's.
There it is.
If you're seeing it before March 5th, we're not open. But, you know.
And collective perspective, appreciate it, man. Appreciate your time.
Yo,
glad we got to connect. Looking forward to what we're going to do in 2019.
Yeah, you and me both.
Thanks, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah.